What's going on, fellow backpackers? My name is Dan. So last month in November, I went on an overnight backpacking trip on Fife Lake Loop. It's a 20-mile loop in Michigan, but unfortunately, my phone, which I use to record my hiking videos, crapped out on me on the morning of day number 2, which was entirely my own fault because I did not sleep with my phone in my pocket like I should have. Instead, I just left it out all night long, so by the time morning rolled around, the battery was as cold as can be, and I only got to take a couple minutes worth of footage that morning until the phone just shut off and would not turn back on. So I'm sorry that you won't get to see the entire trip, but I figured I'd publish the footage anyway so you can still see what the trail is like. So I hope you enjoy the trip, and because it's that time of year, happy holidays to you and your family, and here's hoping that 2021 is just a tad bit better than 2020. And of course, the next time you're on the trail, have fun out there. What's going on, fellow backpackers? My name is Dan, and I am finally back on the trail. I know it's been a long time since I last posted a video, and even longer since I last went backpacking. But I've just had a lot of things going on in my life. Blah, 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 excuses. But here I am back in Michigan on the Fife Lake Loop. It's a 20-mile loop, not too far away from the Manistee River Loop. And this is the first time that I'm doing this, so I'm really looking forward to this trip. So I had planned on parking at the Spring Lake State Forest Campground, but when I pulled in, there was a sign that said that a recreation passport is required for entry. I do not have one of those, nor do I care to pay for one. So instead, I parked at the off of Michigan 186 and Forest Road at that intersection. So it's kind of at the northern part of the loop. And I'm making my way south to the southwestern part of the loop where there are some dispersed campsites. That's where I'll be staying for the night. And oh man, I'm already winded. I thought that this section was going to be really flat for some reason. It's wide, but not super flat yet. So I'm still waiting for that to happen. There's just the lightest dusting of snow in some places. It's probably not supposed to snow today or tonight, although it is supposed to snow tomorrow afternoon, but I'll probably beat that. I'm guessing I'll be back to the car before that happens. And temperature-wise, it's in the high 30s right now. It's supposed to get down to about 19 overnight, which will be fun because if it does, that'll be the coldest that I have slept while backpacking, which I know it's not super cold compared to some people, but I am just not that kind of backpacker that sleeps in sub-zero weather. So 19 is extremely exciting to me. Well, I don't know about you, but I am ready to get to camp. Whew, my legs are tired. Not my knees this time, my knees are totally fine. But my muscles, oh, they're so sore. Well, that's what I get for never exercising. This is the most exercise I've gotten since the last time I went backpacking. Well, I made it to camp, and like I said, it could not come too soon. Oh, my legs are so tired. I do have to say, though, this is pretty nice. There are a couple of benches and a fire ring, and there is a nice creek circling around the camp. So that's going to be nice and peaceful. as I hopefully drift off to sleep tonight and sleep like a baby. So I'm gonna get set up and collect some firewood. I brought my little chainsaw saw with me, and I'm gonna make good use of that because I would like to have a campfire tonight. So since it's getting below freezing on this trip, I'm using these Aquamera drops this time. And I've used these last year, and they work great. I just don't really like using my regular Sawyer filter when it gets below freezing because I just don't want to have to worry about keeping it warm, because if it freezes, then it could completely ruin the filter, and you have no idea, no way to know if it actually ruined it or not. So I prefer to just use these instead when it gets cold out. And what you do is just mix up 7 drops of each bottle in this little cap that they include. So it's 7 drops each bottle per liter of water. So you place the drops in there, wait for 5 minutes, it'll turn yellow, and then pour that into your dirty water, shake it up real good, then wait another 15, 30 minutes if it's cold, and your water will be ready to drink. Now, the one thing I don't know is if Aquamera drops freeze. I imagine that they freeze at some point. Like I said, I've had them on trips before in the past when it's been below freezing, and they've been fine. So, I don't know. If anyone knows if they do freeze, let me know. Ugh. Let me know. I would love to know that. So, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm actually wearing women's winter boots on this trip. That is right. I am not above wearing women's shoes as long as I find them to be comfortable. So I have had the worst luck when it comes to finding winter boots. Everything that I've tried has been so incredibly narrow that it makes it uncomfortable for me to hike in. And I don't actually have wide feet. I have perfectly normal width feet, and yet I find most winter boots to be really uncomfortable, except for these. These are really, really comfy. They're like wearing a slipper practically. But the one downside that I find about them is that the bottoms of my feet, the last time I went hiking last year during winter, got cold after I sat at camp for a while. And this is the insole that it comes with. They say that it's a thermal insole, but I'm going to call BS on that one. And it's pretty thin. And trust me, this isn't just from like walking around for a while. It was like this from day one. So it's a very thin insole. So what I did instead was I cut out a piece of Reflectix to make my own little insole, and I'm hoping that this will do the trick as far as my bottoms of my feet being cold. So we shall see what this is like throughout the evening, but I will let you know if this works. Well, believe it or not, I actually got a campfire going for once. My goodness. So I am cooking up some dinner. I've got, what do I have? Some sort of a rice side. It might be the broccoli one. I don't know. Can't remember. So I've got that. And of course, I also have my beloved bacon jerky. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have it tonight or save it all for tomorrow. Oh, we'll see if I can resist temptation. I might save it for tomorrow. This seems like it would make a great breakfast, because all I have for breakfast tomorrow is granola and, I don't know, bacon seems better. So we shall see. So tonight I'm sleeping in the War Bonnet Blackbird hammock as usual, and I have 2 0-degree quilts with me. For my underquilt, I have a UGQ Zeppelin 0 degree, and then my top quilt is an Light and Equipment Enigma, again also 0 degrees. So I should be very, very warm and toasty tonight. And speaking of warm and toasty, I'm going to crawl in there for the night, so I will see you in the morning. Well, not quite 19 degrees last night, but close enough. Still breaks my record, so I'm happy about that. And I slept incredibly warm last night. In fact, I was sweating a couple times when I woke up in the middle of the night. So I ended up just sleeping in my base layers and nothing else. But man, those 2 0-degree quilts really do the trick. My phone, which I use, the battery was completely bad. And a while since I went sorry about that. Does anybody care about that? No one cares. The last time I used these, I'm just talking too damn much, aren't I?